Probably I won't, but
feel free.
In case I slip,
Don't hold yourself back. Welcome to the Shacknews booth at PAX East 2018. With me, I have Malik and Atul from Spearhead Games.
Hey.
How y'all doing?
Great. Great to be here.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Thank you for giving us the time. Y'all are here to show us Omensight.
Yes.
Right? Y'all did stories before.
Yes.
People, if you're not familiar with it, you definitely should be familiar. It's an adventure game. It had different paths that you can go down as you got towards the end. But this one has a little bit of a twist on the kind of narrative focus, a little bit of a murder mystery, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually an action murder mystery game.
Okay.
So it's interesting and quite unique blend of the two.
Okay.
So I guess I should give you a bit of background about the game, right? So yeah, so you play in this game a character called the Harbinger, which is sort of a mystical warrior that only appears when there's a big crisis in the world.
Okay.
So you appear in this world, and right off the bat you see, oh, there's a huge war, like fantasy World War II going on here with two factions fighting with the
They're just duking it out down there.
Yeah. But the thing is, that's not even why you're there.
Okay.
The big problem is that the world ends at the nightfall of that day where you appear.
Okay, so you came for one thing, but a whole other thing is going on right now.
Yeah, that just, create more havoc and actually makes things interesting to try to figure out what's going on. Because pretty fast you realize the world is ending because someone really important was murdered, and that caused the chain of events that will lead to the end of the world.
Okay.
So knowing that, fortunately you can come back in the morning of that fateful day, and hopefully, who knows, maybe,
figure it
cancel
out.
the apocalypse or something.
Okay, got it. So right now you're looking at the intro screen, intro cutscene.
It's a teaser trailer, I guess.
Teaser. Okay, we're going to jump into it. We're not just going to tease you all with information about it. We're going to show you some of the gameplay for it, so we're going to jump right in here.
From our PAX demo.
Got it.
That's a summary a bit of what I told you. So what we're going to play here is a bit of the game where basically you're following a character called Redka, which is the leader of the rebels, and you're about to go and confront the Emperor Indrik, her archenemy. And while it's loading, actually there's something unique about this game in that the main character, even though it's an interactive story, is a silent protagonist.
Okay.
And the reason we did that strange thing is because when you make a decision in the game, actually as a player you might have multiple reasons why you did it.
Okay.
For example, in this case, maybe you're following her because you actually believe Indrik is the murderer and you want to deal with him.
Gotcha.
Or maybe you think she's the suspect and you just want to, befriend her and make her spill the bean. Columbo style, follow the suspect around.
Gotcha. So you're telling me these awesome companions that I have around me could also be the killer.
Exactly.
For this, okay.
So you have to be a bit paranoid. You never know.
Okay, all right.
And they're at war, so anyone could have pulled up something evil just to win, basically. They're all desperate.
Gotcha.
And that background creates, an opportunity for someone to go a bit too far and, inadvertently end the universe,
Got it.
That happens.
So when the player picks up the controller and they jump into the story, they're going to go down this path. The world's going to end.
Yeah.
Then they're going to start over and go down a different path.
Exactly. Because basically, whatever you choose to do, you're probably going to learn something interesting about an event, a character, a location. And then you want to follow up through these clues, like, a detective would do. Like, I learned this guy has been there. Why? Okay, I'll go check it out. I'll bring this guy with me because he knows the area, and maybe together we can figure it out. And then you keep going. Obviously, because the world is going to end at the end of the day, you have limited time to do stuff. So you have to choose carefully what you should do during the day.
Got it.
Like, kind of made up your plan or react, because, sometimes things don't go exactly as planned and you have to figure it out.
Okay, gotcha. Now, I hope you haven't been doing anything naughty because it looks like the Harbinger's actually here.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's, checking you out.
The Harbinger is a really cool character and badass and all, so,
Okay, well, I'm glad she's looking over us right now.
Yeah.
But what part are we on right now? Like, roughly how far into the game are
we? So, this is, I guess, it's the beginning of Act 2 out of 4.
Okay.
Not totally the beginning, but not the middle either. So
we're getting a little taste
of the
advanced game.
We could say that.
Gotcha. And this is a different build from when you were at PAX South, because I got to check it out then. I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah. But this is a little bit different.
Yeah, we updated it. I've been working a lot on the game, and we're really fast developers, so a lot can happen in between two PAXs. Okay. So we polished a lot, added bits of the game, new areas, a lot of stuff, new enemies, it's crazy what we did in the meantime.
Gotcha. So the Harbinger has a few powers of her own.
Yeah.
What she just did was because of the companions, right?
Yeah. So each of these companions have unique abilities that they can contribute. So, for example, Ratika can teleport you to reach new areas, or maybe Atul can show you her haste ability. She can boost your speed, and then you go super fast.
Okay.
So each companion has one of these abilities. So making a decision on who you should hang out with is not only a narrative choice or an investigation choice. It affects how you approach the game through gameplay at the same time.
Gotcha. How many companions have y'all revealed so far?
So far, we've revealed, I guess, 2, and there are more. Okay, there's 3 actually, because you'll see one. Okay,
a little tease.
Yeah, he's dead at the end of this.
Okay.
Because the characters in the game have their agenda for the day. They do stuff, and then eventually
they have their lives that they live.
Exactly. One of them decides to go kill the Emperor on his own, and he's not strong enough, so he's
fails.
dead. Yeah, you'll see him dead when you reach the Emperor.
But you can go back and help him out, can't you?
Exactly, and then you change the timeline because suddenly he's alive. And because he's alive, maybe it's an opportunity to learn something from him. And so now we're looking at a bit of combat, and that was another power of the Harbinger. She can slow down time in a sphere around her, because we didn't want the game to be only about hack and slash and reflexes.
Right.
We wanted to give the player opportunities to have tactics and be creative. So we gave these different powers. For example, that's a perfect dodge. You can slow down time, and you can actually force grab these bombs. Maybe a tool will show you, and then you can throw them around. Yeah, and you can even do that with OC. The environment reacts, and then he collects the column.
Yeah.
So you can be creative, draw tactics, use slow motion to get that breathing room, and then throw a bomb in slow motion, reposition yourself. Do all sorts of fun stuff with the combat, basically.
Gotcha. So Stories was well received.
Yeah,
I had a lot of success with that.
Yeah, people loved it. We got awards and stuff, so we were pretty happy with it, considering we did it in 11 months only, with our small team of 15 people. So
that's
we're pretty happy with what we did.
Quite an ordeal. What did y'all learn from that process that kind of helped y'all along when making Omensight?
A lot of things on the design side of the game, a lot, but also just on how we make games. With Omensight, because it's with stories, because it's a narrative game with full of branching and an experience that you get as the more you play. There's some things you only figured out when we almost finished the game. And with this one, we tried really hard to make sure that we could gather as much feedback from playtesting, from about the game as soon as possible and as far as possible on the duration of the game, so that we could make sure that we're aware of what we can improve. Because
understood.
However good our plan is when we start the game, when you start pressing the buttons, then you realize certain things.
Right, anything can happen at that point.
Yeah, and you need time to figure it out and fix it, right? So
right, of course.
That was important.
Gotcha.
And we also took more time because of that with Omensight. We took 18 months instead of 11. Still pretty fast, but for us it's like, wow, super luxury, holy shit, yeah.
You can actually relax a couple times, take some days off.
We could take vacations and things like that,
Got it.
Party.
Has the team grown as well?
No, it's pretty much always
the same
15 people.
Okay.
We always have some contractors drop in, especially the audio guys, because there's some jobs that don't always have work the whole time, and we can't afford to have them just do nothing. So,
right.
But usually we have a core team, yeah.
So right now they've run into a boss fight.
Yeah, that's Indrik actually. He can be a boss or not.
You have a decision to make.
Exactly.
Okay.
So now you're here with Ratika, and she really wants to convince you he's the murderer. You can maybe do it and attack him, or you can use your Omensight power like Atul is gonna do, which is one of your magic detective powers that can show an event that happened that happened. In this case, Indrik grabbing the murder victim by the throat. So Atul decided to show it to Indrik because maybe he's not convinced that Ratika is right.
Okay.
Maybe he thinks Indrik maybe has something to say about that. He might not be the murderer.
He might be innocent.
Yeah, exactly. So he confronts him to see, and well, apparently maybe he has reasons, but in this case, Ratika is really pissed, so maybe she is the one hiding something.
Understood.
So, you're trying to dig in there. So either option can leads actually to a different conclusion of this day, and it's up to you to decide. Okay, what am I trying to achieve here, and what's the best way to achieve it? Does murdering Indrik really the good thing? Maybe. Maybe if you want to Ratika to trust you even more, even if you think he's not, guilty. Maybe sometimes murdering people is the right way. I don't know. It's up to you. You're the
definitely
player.
chose
You
to
decide.
attack him. I chose to attack him in my playthrough.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I didn't want to miss out on a boss fight.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah.
Opportunities always.
Right,
Yeah.
but you also, in that situation, say I decide to fight him, I find out this bit of information, but if
Exactly.
I choose not to, I find out a different bit of information.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You go back and forth, you do
Yeah.
the paths different ways.
Exactly.
Can you retread other paths with new information that you have? Does that influence things
In a way, yeah.
in a way?
Yeah, because doing exactly the same choice twice will
Don't
result
really
in
help
the same
you.
thing.
It doesn't
right?
help you, yes.
Yeah.
But you can come back and start the same way and then, branch. For example, you could come back here and attack him instead.
Exactly.
Because, I don't know, you really want to know what happens if you do it, or you think that maybe Ratika will tell you something that you're missing. Depends. Each player will have their own approach to how they solve the murder. I don't think, players will all have different ways. Some are very methodical and, want to see everything. Others go by instinct.
No, that's
So,
definitely me. I'm
yeah.
going to do every single thing that I can
Yeah.
once I get my hands on it.
Yeah, you'll become the master of this world, and that can be super interesting because then you'll start anticipating certain things and even mastering the world. Basically, seeing things from different perspectives can
Right.
inform you about what's going to happen. For example, you can go with the Empire attacking the rebels at one point. If you decide to see the other perspective, you know what the Empire is up to, then okay, they're gonna ambush us here.
Right.
So I'm gonna be
You're
ready
not-
for that.
yes, yes.
So it can be pretty funny
You're
to do
prepared.
that.
Okay.
And there you go. The world
the
just
world is
ended.
ending.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's time's up. But you learn something by doing that.
Okay.
That's Voden, the god of destruction, that just basically does his thing.
So that's the
Like
big
every
thing that's
evening.
coming.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that you were coming to fix, the problem
Yeah.
you were trying to deal with.
It's still there, unfortunately.
Got it. So you got
Yeah.
sidetracked. Well,
Yeah.
what platforms is Omensight coming on for?
So it's gonna come on PC, Steam, and then PS4 as well.
PS4, so a little bit afterwards, or both
No,
at the same time?
Same
yeah.
time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you have a release window?
We're working on that right
Working
now.
on it?
So it's
Yeah.
more like spring and summer.
Yeah.
Spring and summer?
Yeah, spring
Yeah.
is here.
Well, that's not too far.
No,
it's
we're
very
almost
close,
done with the
actually.
game. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, well, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I appreciate y'all giving us the time and showing the game off to our community. I hope they enjoyed it. Thank
Yeah,
y'all for
thank
tuning
you.
in. Again, Malik, Atul,
Atul,
right?
yeah.
Omensight coming to PS4 and PC in the very near future, spring, summer, roughly. We'll find out. Stay tuned to Shacknews. We're going to have plenty of coverage for the game and a review in the future, but we'll see you on the next stream.
Thank you.